So, thanks for bearing with me there. Basically, yeah, we're talking about generational planets. The sound will die down soon, so just as a heads up. But I wanted to get on and chat a bit more about this. Something really key here. So loud. I can't even hear myself. Something really key here is, in addition to these planetary changes, we'll say shifts, is the sun at 29 degrees of Leo. This is crazy. The particularity of this placement right now, preceding the new moon Lionsgate that we just experienced in Leo. Can you guys hear me? Before I continue, I'll make sure. Can you type in the live chat if you can hear me? Great. Is so interesting. If we really were to think of it, what I think is happening here is that we're purging the illusions set around the archetype of the masculine and the feminine, the yin, the yang. Truly, in its essence, Leo represents masculine energy. Sitting in its sun solar placement, which is its natural ruling placement, right? The sun being the ruler of Leo. Leo is very strong still right now. And it is carrying the energy from its entire cycle, right? Where we had the sun in Leo, which was about a month to this point. Obviously, Leo, as a sun sign, we imagine it as an actual person or an entity traveling, has experienced and seen a lot. This last month, if you were to just look back, you know, what has come up quite a bit astrologically, especially right with the, again, 8-8 Lionsgate and other factors here. We had a lot of these different shifts. Now, all of this energy, okay, is coming up now. But it's coming up now within the context of the full moon, where the feminine, the yin, is ever more as well sort of speaking and loudly. I'm feeling that it's almost as if it's like an orchestra, and these simultaneous sort of voices are so loud. Like, I just see it as like Leo like shouting. Leo energy. Yeah, it's like competitive even. It's almost warlike. It's kind of as if, right, the masculine energy and the yin, and it's not to say men, women, that's not the point. Like, yeah, when I'm saying masculine and feminine, I'm simply referring to the sort of polarity, right? Complex, which if you were not here in both masculine and feminine form, I'm seeing stars here, you would not be, because that is the sort of synergy connection, right? To create the magnetism, period. So we're talking about that. We're not talking about, right? Look at the universe, right? We have sun, moon, that is in and of itself yin yang. So that is, if we did not have the polarity between the sun and the moon, we would not really have the magnetism to even, you know, remain as we do in the solar system the way that we do. So, okay, let's get back to it though. With the yin and yang here, it's like, and sun right now is at 29 of Leo. This is like, I see this as literally like the climax of a song, literally. If you imagine, right, the sun, its height, is the highest source of luminosity, of energy, of actual light. It's a source of light. And that's why we say, you know, in the birth chart, your sun sign is so pivotal, because it is the main source of it's the main luminary source. So it's important, obviously, to look at. In this case, being in Leo, it really, really, really has a very strong opinion, has a very strong voice, has a very strong need. And possibly at this time, you may find that, you know, your voice is coming forth, or wanting to come forth in a bit of a stronger way, where that is, maybe at this time you say, wow, you know what, I feel like I'm doing things, saying things, wanting things, yearning for things that are quite odd given my usual habits, my usual patterns. It may be that at this time we start realizing things in a greater sense when it comes to our inner child as well, which Leo does rule, actually. The Sun, Leo energy, rules the inner child. So right now, I wanted to mention this. I was just sort of meditating on that. Sun at 29, and it's like, right now, if you're feeling kind of, we may feel, think about it, when we have our ego, really, which is, again, the Sun, the solar being the solar self, the extroverted masculine essence. Sounds so philosophical right now, but as take it as you will. Out on the line, so-called, okay? Think about it, with great passion and great desire, and the expression of that comes vulnerability, comes risk. Right now, you might find that you're feeling a little vulnerable, that your ego is feeling kind of bare. And this might be in relation to wherever you have Leo in your chart, where things feel really raw even, okay? So let me get into the chat really quickly. Yeah. And it's where you may question your role. I'm curious, how many sun sign Leos here during this period? Well, I want to just bring it to today, like right now, right here, right now. How many sun sign Leos are feeling kind of like a little weird, like I don't feel myself, like it's like something feels like you don't, it's, but yeah, and this is where, oh my God, it's so cute. Look at the little, aw, how adorable. So cute. Just along the way. Yeah, maybe that's it literally says follow signs. Maybe it's a sign, Leo, like if, remember within context. I feel like there are a lot of, well, this is the Leo energy at 29 degrees anyways, will always be intensely. And that's where you may feel like, I'm putting my heart on the sleeve, like, but like no one sees it kind of vibe, Remember to maybe just kind of zoom out, take a different approach, right? Like, we've been just sort of using the camera from this angle and we flipped it. Remember that there's always going to be, again, a zenith. So even if the sun hits 29 of Leo, it will hit, again, zenith of Leo at a certain point. So remember, everything that feels intense right now is cyclical, of course. It will flip, of course, the general video, so you have to take it as you will. Always heed the advice of your personal practitioner. Always consult a private practitioner for these such things, right? Or a specialist, or however, in any field. But this is a video for entertainment purposes only. So, but to say it in a general way, right? There is a lot. And it's what has been as well. It's not random. So it's just coming out. That's the difference now, is that now we're just feeling it maybe more. So I'm looking at the chat now. Yeah, insecure, right. Just insecure, kind of off, like, it's weird. It's weird because, we went from this really heavy, like, Leo season, stellium, and it was all this fire, and it was just like all exciting, and it was just this, really big flame spark, kind of mood. And then it started shifting into Virgo. No offense, love and light, but like, no, not in that way, you guys. I'm hearing that song. Here comes the sun, da 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 da. Here comes the sun, I'll say. But yeah, and it just started to shift into Virgo, and then we started getting more practical, and it's like, okay, fine, I'll get my seatbelts on. Okay, fine, let's do this. And I don't know if we got a little ahead of ourselves with certain things, and it can be in a societal sense as well, obviously, again, given that we've got the retrogrades. That's where it all ties together, and it's all very interesting in that way. The micro and the macro are so intertwined. I really wish I could just do Nigel Thornberry, but like for safety purposes, I don't know. Fuck it. Look at this tree. It's like, it's so fascinating, nature, and that's something else, right? You know, heed the symbols, you guys. Sometimes we get so fixed, especially with Leo energy, we get so fixed on our, perception of ourselves in a certain space. It's like, that's where we have to just, again, flip the script, zoom out, okay? Let go a little, and that can be really hard. Imagine someone's born at, today. They'll have a sun at 29 degrees of Leo. That'll be so intense. Imagine the type of pressure that one would put on themselves, right? With Leo can come perfectionism as well, and so you just want to be aware that you're not getting into that trap now. But let's get back to it. We were saying, um, then Virgo, right, season sort of trickled in, trickled its way on in, and then what happened is it even moved past Virgo, but the sun in Leo sustained. And now we've got Venus in Libra, which is very strong, and it's very airy, a lot of air energy here. And then we've got, Mercury having shifted still, I believe still in Virgo. And Jupiter, obviously in Aquarius, more air. And by the way, Virgo I see it on the axis of air and earth, given that it is ruled by Mercury, which is an air planet. I see it more or less as an air planet that rules Gemini as well. So there's a lot of air going on here, even if it is technically earth. So it's like Leo's all alone, bro, and he's at 29 degrees. It's like he has to deal with, no offense, like love and light, but he has to deal with some some energies here that are not really familiar. It feels very off. It feels very weird. Weird. I see someone who feels awkward, like feel awkward at the party. It's like a performer who feels their audience is like not showing up kind of vibe. Like it's feeling very eerie. And then you add to this like all these retrogrades, and it's like, wait, like really what's going on here? And then it's like you feel extrapolated, and it's like, yeah, so you feel like you're just being undone from the seams of like who you thought you were, and like, but that's the point. And that's where we have to just get kind of strict with ourselves on, where we allow our story to go when we are perceiving ourselves in space. So in other words, have a space to ground. Okay, remember that, things also change, they transform. It's not, stagnating consciousness. It's something that, if at one point you see in one way, it may change, soon enough and at another point in time. You may end up seeing it totally differently, right? So if you're having that sort of bout there, just remember that. But going back to it, here's the thing. Now, yeah, so we moved into the Venus in Libra, and then, it feels like teasing energy almost. It's like, but it's happening very slowly, like, and then what's going to happen is now the sun is going to shift out of Leo, and it's going to move into Virgo in more or less like a few hours, or is it even minutes at this point? And so it's kind of like weird because like the sun in Leo is having its overture moment. Okay, it's like I see someone like, yeah, it's like in the middle of like a very crowded room where people are distracted and they're confused, and this could be you in society even. You're like, I don't know who I am in society. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what's going on even. Like even if I knew where I were to go, I don't know where that group of people's going. Like I don't know what's what. So and this may affect you on subtle levels of the subconscious, like subconsciously, So let's clear and run. Yeah. You may just, feel this unsettlement feeling. Wow, look, it's so cool. Look at these little plants. Wow. They almost look like four-leaf clovers. Aw. So, yeah. But I wonder if any of this is poison oak. Look at the bottom of this tree. Oh my god. Look at the ivy growing on it. So, you have to come into yourself here, I think, ultimately, but not too far to just one part of yourself as you perceive yourself to be, right? Whole. Interesting. So keep it fluid. It's really hard at times to get out of the ego with the sun and Leo energy. So those of you who have a naturally strong sun, you'll get into this with yourself. Oh my god, it's like a little mini tree. Oh my god, it's so cute. Well, I don't know. Is it? You guys, I feel like I'm just Nigel in my heart. I am Nigel at heart. Nigel, Nigel official Thornberry, guys. All right, let's get some grass action. Oh my god, it looks like parsley. Aww, you guys, the resilience of nature. It's fascinating. But anyways, going back to it, Leo, it's like, try, and I'm speaking to the Leo and everyone, right? I mean, this is a time where we'll be tested. How much does the ego actually matter? How much does it actually define us? You know, I think we have to come back to square one at times, scale it down. And this can be hard for those who are actually really successful. You have to understand that you'll have cycles in your career. Sometimes you will feel really on fire. You'll feel really hot. You'll feel really so-called relevant, wanted. Okay, your audience will be like popping. And then there will be times where and that's normal. That is normal. Okay? And it actually serves you. So whether or not you realize it, yes, the cycles of your career and how you feel in your career serve you. Just like the seasons. Just like the seasons. Okay? Sometimes we think, I want summer, all 4 seasons, but then it's like, by the end of summer, you're like, you know what? Actually, I want a break. I want a break. And I want to shift things up a bit. I you know what? I am looking for a default kind of vibe. So try to disconnect if it's getting too hard from the ego. Sometimes you have to just mechanically just like be like, ah, that's like not where I want to take things. I don't want to look at my work like that. I don't want to start overly criticizing myself, right? So keep it playful, which is that higher form of Leo energy. But going back to it, wanted to just bring attention to this very particular period of a few hours here today because it is, I feel like a museum tour guide. Oh my god, it actually takes me back to Italy for some reason. Yeah, something very specific actually in Sicily. I think it was Sicily. It was Tuscany actually. Oh yeah. It was a city right outside of Siena. It was what was the name? I just remember this one time we visited. It was with our group. It was like it was this like museum, but it was like a home that they restored. It was so beautiful. It was something with an M, Montagna, the Montenegro or something like that. Okay. Well, either way, yeah, and they would take us to these different rooms. Okay, but anywho, Nigel Thornberry, museum guide, but for the astro, I guess, right? But anyways, yeah, getting back to it. So, we were saying just these few hours, right? Leo is at its peak, and do not define how you feel. I just want to say this, like, by these few hours, by this day. One day does not define you, and I'm hearing in your career or not in your career, and whatever, you got to look at where you've got Leo energy. That's where you might feel the sensitivity, like, I know I am. If it is in relation to your relationship sector, maybe you feel kind of like, unwanted, or again, I'm hearing like just like irrelevant, like, because literally, if you actually think about it, Leo coinciding with these Virgo energies that are still with Mars and Virgo, Virgo's still getting a lot of action here in the astro wheel at this time. And with Libra coming in, Libra's also, we have to see the planets as children, like actually interacting with one another. And they're all on stage and they all want what they want, So if you literally imagine that, Leo's maybe not feeling the support really. But that doesn't mean that, there is such a thing as a bad birth chart. And I also want to say that. Okay, if anything, the most challenging birth charts are those that lead to the most successful stories. They do, yeah. So that's what they say. But yeah, going back to it, right now, right? It is this pressure point, and that's where we have to transcend. I think ultimately, this is the question of, is it about doing more and excelling even farther and like going? It's like somebody like beating a drum so hard and so loud. It's like trying to surpass and overcome, but is it really about overcoming? You know. So, but that's not to say that, of course, there are varying agendas here. Virgo is about practicality, and Leo is about fun, entertainment. Leo wants to entertain. Leo wants to express. Leo wants to feel. Okay, especially passion, love. And Virgo's like, we got to do our homework. It's like, it's irritating. It's frustrating. It really, really, really may feel frustrating, irritating. Okay. Um. So yeah, but to say it in this way, again, if somebody was born during this time, it's not to say, oh my God, they're going to have a frustrating life. Not at all. If, for example, it depends on how they channel this energy. It can be sustained in such a way where they are, really they've got quite a talent when it comes to merging those two worlds. Okay, for example, entertainment and um, something of a regimen um, and routine and these things. So, gosh, somebody born right now with Sun in 29 in Leo, what the? The full moon in Aquarius? Either they'll work with famous people or, they can work with, like, for example, producing, like movie producing and these things. But yeah, just try to take the load off, Leo. I'm just hearing this again. Really try to just settle back into what you have maybe already created. Appreciate. So much of it is gratitude. Seeing what has come so far, because it has come really, really far. So I'm going to jump into the chat. Let's clear the ground. Hi, conversations, conversions of light, greetings. I see now. Ah, yeah. And, sometimes it's a good sign. It's a good sign to feel irrelevant. It's like, that's good. That's actually a good sign because it means that you are drawing closer towards something, that is different and that is novel for who you really are. If anything, it means that you're being authentic, right? If you always felt relevant, it's like, how real would that be, right? So either you're not changing your environment or something's off, right? Your stage is GMO at that point. Before we get into that, though. Oh my God, you guys, I think it's raining. Uh-oh. Well, let it be. So let it be. The sky needs to cry. And maybe you should too if you're at a point, right? In that, you got to have an outlet, right? And it doesn't always have to be what it's been. And I think that's also the point, because with anything at 29 degrees, we can just get into that rut and into the, just keep going, keep going. More is not necessarily better. So that's another. Yeah, I think rain is magical. Alex says, it's seriously raining, you guys. I think I'm going to have to run into this tunnel. Oh my God. Well, they make the iPhones weather resistant these days, right? So. Alex says, I love rain. Rain is everything to me. Sorry. Oh, you're saying it like you turn the rain switch on. Sorry guys, just had to turn the rain on for a second. I love rain. Sorry guys. It's getting colder. But and I think it's also important to recognize nature in this process, because it is such a reflection point as well. I think we really, really underestimate how related to nature we are, and the patterns and the frequencies around us. And there is definitely, weather is powerful. So heed the symbols in nature if you're out. Love and light to you guys. Alex says the 5G is interrupted by rain on your iPhone 12. How did you know I have an iPhone 12? Hi, Alex. Hold on a second now. So wait, Alex just made it rain, and he's also iPhone psychic. So adding 2 and 2 together, wow, this guy has a unicycle. All right, let me in a tight little tunnel here. 1 second, guys. Nigel is gonna be back in just a minute. So oh my God, I see the spider web here on the tree. It is freaking huge. The spider web on the tree, oh my God, huge. As you're walking by, you just see it like lit up. But anyways, going back to it, no, Alex, I have not forgotten. Aw. Let's put this back in. Aw, Alex. Well, you know, it is of course all perspective. The important thing is that we are honest here, and of course this is a general video, but we can say that, you know, being in a so-called normal space, okay, being in a so-called normal state can be somehow also abnormal, and you can be sort of in a box mentally, psychologically, you know, by not speaking your truth as well. So I think the most important thing is that you are being honest. Of course, this is again a general video. You have to consider all realms here. But it's also really, really important to ground. Really important to ground. Oh, how nice, Sunny D. Yeah, I'll stay on. Yeah, I'm liking it. The rain is not too bad. It's not too intense. I think it's also important during these times not to feel like other people really like have so much say over who you are. And that can be really challenging with this Leo energy where you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And you know, I've experienced this, for example, you know, years ago when I was really on Instagram a lot, and like I said last night, I think it was, I was going to start a fashion app. Oh, it was actually in the Leo reading. I mentioned the story, yeah. I was going to start a fashion app, and like at that time I was really, you know, into social media for getting, you know, the publicity of the app basically to get it sort of to, I was getting like pre-registered users, and so a lot was like for that. But I was also interested in obviously photography always, and fashion and stuff. But and you know, but I saw that it became like a thing where it was getting really, really sort of like not positive for me. Where I would just like get into this routine, this rut, and I would wake up and I'm like checking likes, and it's just like this is not healthy. This is not healthy. Like when it becomes to such a degree, like you know, and it's just because I think at that point it's striking a chord of incongruency with your, you know, your higher self, like your original template. Like your higher self is not like, yo bro, let's do earth, like they do likes there, let's get a lot of them. That's not what's going on, right? So then you feel that on some subtle level, and you feel like you're not really, even if you do get the likes, it's like cheese for the mouse, you know, and everything else is just the wheel in life. Like it's not actually satisfying you. I don't know, this could be a message for somebody, but it's clear and gone. It's not actually what it's about, right? Necessarily, but you make it what it is, of course, right? No one can say what is what. Um, so, oh, well, let me check the astro right now. I wonder what the sun is doing. 1 second. Pink Babe says, how do I become a member? Do you see the join button? You should see a join button next to member. next to I think subscribe. And oh yes, Sunny D. Just to, I mean, it doesn't need clarification, but I was not looking at the chat when you said thank you for your support. Of course, you guys, I love the likes on the channel. I'm talking when it's like when I'm waking up as the creator, or someone is waking up as a content creator. Let's say that you have a social media platform, right? Yeah, I'm not talking at all about you, Sunny D, but like if let's say you're a content creator and you're feeling overly dependent on, oh my god, it's a heart, look. Aw, so cute. Um, they're actually all over if you look. A lot of them are shaped like hearts. Um, but yeah, it's like you're a content creator, and it's like, by the way, everybody's a content creator, whether or not you have a so-called platform and a so-called audience. Like, wow. Oh, I have to show you guys. Look at these little. They're so subtle, but they're there. These little plants. They look like almost mini flowers, but they're not. They don't. You don't see them anywhere else here. It's the first time I saw them on the path. Wow. I guess Spirit really wants us to ground. It's like. But anywho's, I'm hearing acorns. Okay, take it as well. Yeah, but yeah. If you are right, like feeling obsessed, like I gotta like, yeah, it is the little things, right, right. And if you are right feeling like obsessive, like I have to like attract like you know anything you feel you have to do, I would just take a step back and re-represent your mantra, but not immediately, right? Because anything excessive is not natural, I think. Doesn't mean it's not good. It can lead you, that process of feeling extreme can lead you to a point where you say, okay, you know what, it is maybe not about that. So these experiences, right, might guide us to give give aspects of our being more thought, where we can assimilate it into how we see it, the overarching image of who we are more clearly and in a more pleasurable way. So, yes, yes. And it's all how you see it, like when I first started the channel, and by the way, I had to just like, for a period, I was like, I can't be on Instagram anymore. This is like not healthy. And I literally just like got off of it, and I just had to cut the cycle because it was not going anywhere, and it's not like I wasn't getting likes. It was just like, it was almost a habit. And so living in habit doesn't feel fun to a certain extent. But, going back to it, when I first started the channel, okay, I was really not thinking about anything. Like, I was not thinking about it being anything like at all, really. I was just feeling. And of course, right, it's not to say that we don't want likes, we don't want to feel appreciation, you know, but there are those times, there are those moments where we it's just not in context. So sometimes you need to take a break to reorient and re-perceive and consciously decide what you want to give attention to and in what way, to what degree. But let's clear it, backtracking ground. Yeah, for some, yeah, and this can be something that everyone works with. You guys, even if you see someone who's like so-called perfect, bro, if anything, the more so-called perfect, the more, imagine, the more thought goes into that image, so-called, right? So the more natural and like, I don't really give a fuck, like really what this ends up being and meaning, because, right? That's kind of like what our intention is to begin with. It's honesty. It's just the purity intention, which is, that is perfect. Whatever it is, it was so perfect that it manifested. Think of that, right? A little abstract possibly, but that's all you need is your authenticity, is your naturality. So I think that it's kind of at that point, and it can happen to anyone. I think that's kind of the further point here I want to make, is that it's not something exclusive. You guys, look, it's still even a heart, but it's kind of like, you know, it's got one side bigger. It's a lumpy heart, but it's still a heart. It's still a heart. Wow, I think this is jasmine. Anyone know? Is it? Hmm. I'm just imagining someone taking my camera, Nigel, taking Nigel by the, Nigel, stop. Nigel, this way. Right this way, Nigel. We need. Yeah, but so I'm seeing a cactus here. Take it as you will. Ah, this tree literally just snapped, I guess. You guys, it's pretty, it gets intense out here in nature. California, Los Angeles, which is where I grew up, we don't really have like this kind of nature going on like right in the city. And so, but yeah, it seems like a lot of these trees fell over, and this is the thing that happens to happen, I guess. When the storms come and the storms roll through, which are so intense and powerful. But okay, anyways, let's get back to it again. We were saying, yeah, it can really happen to anyone, you guys. And really, I mean, we're all so-called human, but we're all more than that too. And I think that's what you gotta just remember if you were having trouble understanding why. Those of you who feel like you're in a psychological rut where you don't understand something and you want to understand it, and it's like you're going like ping pong back and forth. Look at this flower. If you feel like you are in a rut, like psychologically trying to figure something out, I would step back and ask yourself, is my ego involved? Okay. Who is really here trying to understand what? Does my higher self really understand this? Who's asking what? You know, and I think that's really important as well. Deep down, you guys. So gracefully. Oh, some more jasmine, I think, right? Wow. Look at that little bug. Anyways, yo, is Nigel for real? I don't know. I love photography. I love video. I just feel guided to share this with you guys. Look at this branch. So, um, don't be afraid to be weird, guys. You know? Holy shit. You guys see this? Whoa. No, right. We have the famed tarantula. That came through in a reading. Okay, I'm gonna stop looking around because I'm just gonna want to film everything for you guys. Okay. Yeah, this is the thing. Oh god. Yeah, I actually stopped kind of doing photography because it was getting very intense for me, and like, I just got to show you this though. Look at the little mossy wassy. All right. Okay, can't. All right, that's it. No, like my camera roll would be like, oh my god. Um, so yeah, but Anyways, guys, this was fun. I can't wait to watch it over and be like, what am I doing? But that's the point. That's okay. You need to feel weird sometimes, especially when you feel like you're overly dependent on normalcy. That's when you need to do the ultra weird thing, the awkward thing, the thing you're scared of, the thing that's weird, right? So called. That thing. That's what's going to get you out of it. Possibly. This is a general video. Oh, I didn't see what you said, Alex, before you retracted it. Yeah, so love and light to you guys. Hope you're all, finding ways to remain grounded, and we'll see you in another video soon. Well, whenever is whenever. Bye, you guys. Love it.